Big news from Tigray. Getachew, the former Tigray president, advisor to the Prime Minister, has announced something which people have been waiting for months. Secondly, Hassan Sheikh, the president of Somalia, landed in Addis Ababa a few hours ago. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for watching, viewers. Uh, we were supposed to have a live chat tonight, but I am busy. I have some engagements, so we might not be able to have a live chat tonight. Hopefully, tomorrow we'll make up for it and we'll have a live chat. Back to this video. Firstly, Somalia's president is in Ethiopia. Hassan Sheikh landed in Addis Ababa a few hours ago. He was welcomed at Bole International Airport by Temesgen Terone, Deputy Prime Minister of Ethiopia. Abiy has published a message. He tweeted welcoming Hassan Sheikh, the president of Somalia. What is the significance of this visit? Well, in Addis Ababa, UN conference on food is being organized, and African leaders from across Africa are participating. They are arriving in Addis Ababa. PM Abiy, Thomas Canterone, other senior leaders are welcoming them. This visit by Somalia's president is not related to bilateral relations. Rather, he is here in Addis to participate in a UN conference. But Somalia Ethiopia talks collapsed a few months ago under the auspices of Turkey. They tried to agree on a deal about sea access, but talks collapsed. And since then, there has been a little coldness in relations between the two leaders in the two countries. So Hassan Sheikh's visit is an indication of working relationship between the two countries. It means that Abiy and Hassan Sheikh are on speaking terms. Talks between the two countries could resume if Ethiopia sees any likelihood of success in talks. Ethiopia wants access to sea. So talks might resume. So far, the two sides have not announced official collapse of talks. Nothing has been said about these talks so far by Turkey, by Ethiopia, by Somalia. All sides silent. They're not saying a word, but the sources are confirming the talks have collapsed. But since the two leaders are on speaking terms, it means that maybe they could resume talks. Back to main news story from Tigray, because we know that one of the main demands by TPLF is the return of IDPs. Though the main demand of TPLF is restoration of its status, and it launched some IDPs who said that before they return, they want restoration of people status. So basically, TPLF wants its restoration first, and then other issues should be handled. But the federal government is not catering to the demands of TPLF about its status restoration. But federal government might expedite the return of IDPs. Why? If IDPs start returning to their homes, TPLF won't have any excuse to wage war on Volkite. Though it might still wage war to say that it wants to have Volkite back under its control. But it will lose IDP support if they start returning to their homes in Volkite. This is what federal government is working on. Federal government wants to avert this war now. I've been saying that for days, that federal government of Ethiopia, though it has been trying to divide TPLF, it has been trying to weaken TPLF. It is against TPLF alliance, but it does not want a war now. Maybe at a later time it wants war. It wants to crush TPLF, that's for sure. But not at this point of time, because the government is weak now. It wants to create divisions in TPLF, TPLF in Eritrea, in Amhara, in Oromia. then it might wage war. Right now, it's on its own, E&F on its own. So federal government trying to handle IDP issue to deprive TPLF of any excuse to invade Volcaid. Getachew Reda, who is advisor to the Ethiopian Prime Minister, advisor on East Africa affairs, he visited Humera a few days ago, along with Amhara President Erga Kabede. They met with the Volcaid Humera Sag, the chief and deputy chief. Current America Zayadu was there. The dam they were there. And they agreed on return of IDPs there. Now, Getachew has announced reportedly that he's working on solving the issue of return of IDPs. He's working to protect Tigray's interests. And he is aware of the plight of IDPs who have been suffering. Another winter should not be spent by these IDPs at IDP camps. They have suffered a lot. And he said that he went to the ground himself, and he is working on the issue. And then in the next 2 days, results could be seen. So Getachew is saying basically that the start of return of IDPs could happen after 2 days, or some progress could be seen that IDPs are going to return to their homes. If it happens, it will be a huge development. It will de-escalate tensions between federal government and Tigray government. TPLF will find it difficult to then get support for its war if it wants to wage war on Volcaid. So, by the way, return of IDPs is a complex issue because federal government wants to ensure that only legit IDPs return, who are original residents of Humera Volcaid Sagade. Colonel Demake led administration in Humera Volcaid Sagade has not been dismantled so far. Will TPLF agree to return of IDPs to Humera Volcaid Sagade while Colonel Demake Zayadu, the dam are in power there? Will TPLF demand dissolution of the government there? That remains to be seen. And secondly, when IDPs will start returning to their homes in Western Tigray, obviously authorities there, they'll carry out verifications. Even before the return of IDPs, I think the administration in Western Tigray will carry out verifications. It won't allow everyone or anyone to enter Humera Volcaid Sagade. It has been saying that TPLF wants to infiltrate Humera Volcaid Sagade. It wants to send armed men in the guise of IDPs to the area. It means the return of IDPs is a very complex issue. Even if it starts, its completion will be very challenging. But it should start at least. This is what Getachew Reda is saying, that the movement which he is leading is going to produce results after 2 days. So it's a big development because IDPs have been protesting and federal government has been accusing TPLF of using IDPs to wage war. If IDPs start returning to their homes, TPLF will have to rethink its strategy if it wants to wage war. So next 48 hours are crucial. If Getachew back movement leads to return of IDPs, could that lead to increase in popularity of Getachew Reda in Tigray? Would it be helpful for Getachew to establish his political presence in Tigray? Yes. It will definitely give a boost to Getachew's standing in Tigray if because of his efforts, IDPs start returning to their homes in Western Tigray, Humera, Volkai, Sagade. Let's see what happens after 2 days. Thanks for watching.